maybe that suspicious amount, a lack thereof of speed. You could go up to 350 here. That's almost that's a little. I think that's a little less than half of what you could have done with your skill there. So we're going to see how these kicks work. It seems like it's going to work out though, because Nematode is a defensively based monster. So we're going to see how this turns out here. Going for the punch. Punch misses. We're going to see a decent amount of those miss. Golem moves aren't exactly renowned for their accuracy.
So these monsters are very similarly built. Nash with more power, while I went with more life. My thinking behind that was, if I can just tank a little bit more hits, I might be good to go.
Yeah, so obviously these ranches for the first week don't exactly know who they're fighting and don't exactly know their build, so these are all just kind of what we thought would probably be generally good. So, we might not see what might be as optimal here. Like, for example, if you see like a D ranker with, a bunch of skill, maybe that skill could have been better invested into other stats because, everything so far seems to be a tank at D rank.
Mm-hmm. So, not to talk about myself too much, but the reason that we actually got a KO in D rank?
Yeah, KO in D rank? What the hell? That's not in the script.
The reason that I went with Beaclon, outside of just I really like them as monsters. That's a lot of how I build. It's just I try to build shit that monsters that I like. But I thought the basics were pretty good, and I thought they were pretty quick animations. So I thought that would be good. So maybe he could chain attacks together, which Nematode actually did probably. He did really get the first combo in the exhibition match where I think he chained like 4 punches together.
Yeah, so a lot of our D rankers you're going to see kind of like how Tendril was. Tendril was a bit like hyphy and wild because its move takes a little time, but with all these cheap moves and the ability to get a lot of guts because they don't have moves in a lot of slots, we're probably going to see a lot of D rankers go move, like we might see here.
Yeah, he just...
Did I call it or did I call it?
He's just hitting them. That was 4 horn attacks in a row into like a punch.
Yeah, I might have called it there or something. It's like I know what I'm talking about. Nematode takes 2-0.
I'm more color commentary. You're more, you know what the hell you're talking about. I'm over here like, whoa, hey,
as one of my favorite commentators.
Oh wait, I forgot. These are just.
Yeah, first the 2 there, buddy. Is one of my favorite commentators in the esports scene calls it the big brain commentators and the talkie commentators. It's something like that. I can't quite remember.
Okay, so that was a pretty quick D rank, which is nice. So we're gonna start moving on to C rank now. So
D rank can take a long time compared to some of the other ones, even though it's 3 matches instead of 5 at its maximum. Just because a lot of the time the monster, they're both punching bags, and we see them go at it and go at it and go at it and go at it and go at it. As opposed to the other ranks where, like, for example, you saw the third game between Jack and Fruit Jello, or the gel plant.
Jello.
Yeah, boom, done. But that was actually a pretty quick D rank, all things considered.
My monster Pontoon is a glass cannony build with a lot of power, skill, and speed, whereas Nash went with a build with life, power, and skill. So a lot of the way that Nash likes to build monsters is he doesn't like a lot of risk. He likes a lot of consistency in his builds. He likes a lot of
big flat.
Sorry.
Oh no, I was just commentating on that as you were talking. Continue going with what you were saying.
He likes to make his builds as what he thinks will be as consistent as possible.
Yeah, consistency is a lot of what Nash likes.
This is a really interesting build. I don't think we've really seen a monster that just has moves in slot 1 and slot 4. And one of the cool things about this build is that he can fire off a fist missile, like frame 1, and get the upper hand on life. And so that was heavy chop, right? I believe.
I believe so as well.
So taking it with a... Oh, wait. I've never noticed that. There's little fossils inside of the Hanger Zoom's like chassis.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. I never noticed that either.
That's really cool. It's like little Nautilus shells. Maybe little Nitons, I guess.
Yeah, I've actually never realized that either. That's really cool.
Pretty much the only textures the Switch port updated were the monster textures.
Ooh!
Don't focus on the background in the port. It's probably not as noticeable as on the stream, but there's a pretty bad wobble on the background of this version of the game.
Yeah, don't go looking for it, or else you'll never be able to unsee it, or so I've been told, because I haven't gone looking for it.
I know. Someone pointed it out to me, and now I'm just like, fuck, I cannot unsee it.
The monsters themselves, though, look pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm. I hope one day maybe that someone, I don't know how it'll work since this is emulation, but someone will be able to rip a lot of the models and textures from this version of the game.
I mean, I have no idea how that would work either, but if someone's going to do it, it'd be this community. We seem to pull a lot of our stuff out of our own butts despite being very small. I mean, hell, we have a fucking randomizer now? That's nuts.
Yeah, I need to try that out. It looks super fun.
I do too. Is that 1-1, by the way, or is that 2-0?
Yeah, that is 1-1.
1-1, okay, cool.
I got a little scared because Pontoon procced Anger with bubbles. I wanted Zilla Charge, and I didn't allocate my time well enough to get Zilla Charge. So this Zilla Pixie here spawns with bubbles, but I wanted to use it anyway since it starts with like under 20 in every stat, so I could min-max a little easier.
Yeah, that's the play. That's the play.
I think a lot of people did that. When I went through and was looking at people's builds in the freezer, I was just like, that one Japanese page with all the weird summons got a lot of use these past 2 months.
For sure. Also, we have a good 2-1 right now. Albarn just needs to win one more match, and Nash is going to take the lead.
So yeah, I really like Pixie Zilla a lot, but I'm not sure if my build here is that great. Roll Assault in Original is kind of dangerous because they build up so much guts during the animation.
Yeah, if you don't one-shot with Roll Assault, it's probably not worth using, depending on... Like, against a Hanger Zoom, it might be fine just because it doesn't have very large guts rate. But hit a Roll Assault against something like a Pixie or a Tiger, and it is almost always not worth it unless you KO them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, so she withered him down all the way, so... Well, you know what? The withering is not going to be that great because a lot of Albarn's moves are so low and that he can attack at any point that he wants.
Yeah, a lot of these, I'm pretty sure every single move Albarn has is under 20%, but it doesn't actually end up mattering because it looks like Pontoon takes it right now, so we're now 2-2?
Yes, we're at 2-2 right now.
Oh boy, we got a game! Alright, ooh, frame 1 fist missile, not critting, but doing almost 100 damage. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's really funny, like, you would look at this giant whale and you think you'd be like, that thing's a tank, huh? And it's just like, no, she got baby defenses.
Yeah, so what's really funny is a lot of the bigger monsters in this game that look like they're going to be tanks have slow guts rates, so in order for them to succeed, they need to not be tanks.
Yeah, actually, if you ever watched any of the Monster Rancher Battle League, you'll notice that all of the tanks who've done really good in there are tiny-ass monsters with... Okay, Albarn takes that game 5. They are tiny monsters with really, really fast gust rates. Like, there's a ghost tank, and there is a plant tank, a hopper tank, and a tiger tank. So.
Yeah, they're all pretty fun. I'm going to answer some questions in chat while we pull up Odd and Thrillho. Is there any changes? Compare the MR2 emulator version with the Switch version? So besides from the things that they've listed in chat, if you go to legendcup.com, they have a archive of the 50 different changes that were posted, at least to the 50 different changes that were posted from the Twitter. Also, you can spawn things with discs, which obviously you can do that on emulator too, but it might be a bit hard to get certain monsters that you might want. But on the emulator, that's pretty. Yeah, not on the emulator. On the port, that's pretty easy. Also, something of note on the port is that you can play online. That's not a thing on the emulator. But the emulator does have one thing. Is one thing lacking. There's no advanced viewer.
Yeah.
So advanced. Definitely a lot of the community members' favorite ways to play the game. So
I know some people are iffy on it, using it to play casually, but like competitive building, I don't think I could play competitive Monster Rancher without the advanced viewer on the emulator.
But getting into this first match, we have Thrillho versus Odd. Didn't actually get a good look at the monsters' builds because I was answering questions in chat. But it looks like, irregardless of what these builds are, they're doing pretty good for both their respective ranchers.
They're built a lot of the same way. A lot of life, intelligence, power, and a lot of skill. Thrillho has some spec into defense.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and look it up right now. So Thrillho has more life, more defense, and then Odd has more power, intelligence, and skill. So Odd is a really good jumping off point, talking about what's different about the port. In the port, you're able to raise the enemy monsters, something that you couldn't do in the emulated version without reskinning. But the cool thing about these monsters is that they are their own unique breeds. So Odd, for example, he is a Suezo with, I believe, a 9 guts. Oh my god, tail assault combo.
That was something.
He's a Suezo with a 9 guts regain, and he also gets Reel. So Reel is usually a Joker main or sub-exclusive battle special that once their opponent, is it 1/4 of their life? Gets down to 1/4 of their life?
It's in the yellow. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I'm pretty sure yellow is the 1/4. So it's just when they're in the yellow.
Right. So when their health bar gets down to the yellow, it's a special ability that procs, that does everything. It's more damage. It's more guts regain. It's more move speed. But the downside to it is that when Reel runs out, all of those things that were buffed about it when it had it are cut in half and nerfed.
Yeah, so Reel is definitely very high risk, high reward, because when it runs off, if you're not winning already, you're going to lose.
Mm-hmm. 89 miss?
Yeah, oh, rough,
no,
buddy.
until he lost because of the 89 miss?
That's rough, buddy. 3-0, Thrillho, buddy. Oof.
Oh,
Nash's luck from the Olympics has come back to haunt him.
I keep checking back to the rules. I don't have the points memorized yet, even though I should.
Really funny.
Man, Odd beating the odds there.
Har har. Next is Unearth and Leon. Is it Leon or Leon? Do we know? I'm just gonna keep saying Leon for now.
I'd imagine it's Leon, but I'm sure Nash can tell us in the chat.
Nash, the Razor of Thrillho, saying, "I think Thrillho's build sucks ass." I mean, if anyone was going to say it, it would be you. You're the one who raised the monster, so guess your opinion counts the most, buddy.
So
it's pronounced Leon.
Thank you, Nash.
Leon. That's not help Nash whatsoever.
So, gonna be a very similar match to how IMU versus Fenric went, except Unearth is a power-based monster instead of an intelligence-based monster. Like we said earlier, Nash decided not to go with Meow, and he went ahead and went with Stab. So one of the big issues right now is I did not put a lot of skill in Unearth because when I made him, I had the idea that, well, of course everyone's going to raise tanks for this, and then everyone started theory crafting Mew, and I was just like, uh-oh.
Yeah, so Unearth might be... This is a great segue into something else. So ranked for the Switchfork Battle League can switch their monsters week from week. So Unearth here being the wrong meta read might... Yeah, I'm assuming you might, want to switch them out.
I'm thinking of doing a hair that has stinking gas in slot 4. Or whichever...
the big stinky.
Yeah, it's called miasma in the... in hard mode. So yeah, Unearth got one good hit in, but then Leon pretty much just dodged and withered him away.
Yeah, Leon kind of took this lead and ran with it. Last time we've seen Leon, he was in the other county.
Another problem with Unearth is kind of like Pontoon. I didn't do tech acquisition very well to where I wanted Brow Smash. Did not get Brow Smash, so he just has nothing in slot 4. I wasn't thinking, and I realized that I couldn't get Cyclone on him.
You want me to move?
I couldn't get Cyclone on him because it was either he would have gone over the stack cap, or I couldn't get enough power to be able to get it for the tech.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, for the tech requirements. I don't know.
For those who don't know, by the way, the reason why Cyclone is kind of a meme is because Cyclone can hit the broadside of a barn, but when it does, it's going to win you the game pretty much regardless. Mm-hmm. So
it's kind of like Gelcopter, except a lot less accurate and more damaging.
Yeah, it's the same thing as Gelcopter, except Gelcopter, when it hits, it automatically wins. So does Cyclone, but it has more points into how much damage it does, completely unnecessarily.
One of the fun things about hard mode, too, is I believe Gelcopter was buffed.
Yeah, don't know why, but,
So, if you really like Gel, and you want to try the emulator, and you want to enter a tournament, and if you want to turn into a helicopter, that could be a good inspiration to be able to get into playing on the emulator.
Yeah. But going back to this match, I think we all know what's going to end up happening here. Leon is kind of just running away with this game. The twiddling coming out. I think that's all Leon needs to actually hit, if we're being realistic here. Mm-hmm. Unearth hit its one move. Unearth hit its one move that gets to hit this set. That's it.
It's just an incredibly bad matchup, but that just happens sometimes with so many different monsters and so many different ways to build monsters. So yeah, Unearth's not going to be able to do this. Was that Twiddling 2 or Twiddling Z?
I'm not quite sure. Whatever it was, though, it missed under 10. It missed on a 7% chance to miss. So kind of an interesting way to end that set. You figured Unearth would do that, hit a very low % chance to hit because that's all of its moves. But happens.
All right, so it's going to come down to whoever wins S rank.
Twid 2, according to Nash. Yeah, so whoever wins S rank here wins 3 points. So either that means Macho's going to 6 versus Nash's 5, or Nash is going 8 to Macho's 3. So I think the Discord group went 8 and 3 as well, if I'm not mistaken. So we'd see two, like the Discord last match, Discord versus Biagion. So it's going to be quite interesting to see that blowout happen twice. But I think that's the enemy monster Zoom, which is the highest guts rate of all Zooms. Oh, 9-2, my mistake. So this is a very strong Zoom with a very good build for this Zoom versus Lumpy, which is a intelligence Jill.
Yeah, so Lumpy's also kind of technically exclusive to the port. He's based off Sasquatch, or Bigfoot. He's based on Bigfoot, which is one of the enemy monsters that you can or one of the tournament entrants that you can fight in the single-player version of the game. And what's so special about this version of this... okay, this is actually a good segue. Anyway, he has 11 guts rate, which these guys normally don't have. But Lumpy got grit here, which means he is not able to win. That's one of the special conditions of S rank.
Yeah, so even though Lumpy grit there, the match is over as soon as Lumpy's hit points reached 0. Nails takes this first game.
So yeah, this version of Wondar has an 11 guts rate, which is way better than I believe any Jill is able to have besides Big Hand, which I can't remember if Big Hand has 11 or 10.
Yeah, I think it's also 11. We're seeing Ice Spikes come out, though. That does a decent amount of damage. Both these monsters did a lot of damage to each other, which is really interesting, because Nails has more defense than it has speed, so all of Lumpy's moves are going to hit, and it's still doing this much damage. Speaking of which, that was 3 Ice Spikes all in a row. That's all hit techs, and Nails goes down quite quickly there. That is 1-1 currently. Both these monsters are capable of doing incredibly large amounts of damage to each other. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these turns out. A critical, I think, kills here, but it doesn't crit. Nails is still in this.
Yeah, so Nails is going to have a huge guts lead right now, too. And then for those who don't know, comparatively, how much guts you have compared to your opponent, how much more, you actually start doing more damage. And I think better hit rate.
Yeah, it's a lot of effects. Ooh, the burning... I don't remember what that move's called, but I've always mentally referred to it as burning charge misses. With a million claws doesn't. Lumpy's still kind of in position to win this.
Oh,
not if it uses a power tech, though.
Oh, and he procs anger?
Ooh, my god. That was probably as bad as it could have gone for Lumpy. And then he gets hit with a single claw. Nails is currently up 2-1. That was rough.
Yeah, so one of the downsides about running this thing, intelligence, is that this special Wondar starts with punch combo. So sometimes he likes to use it, and I cry a little bit.
Ooh, the Vigor comes out from Lumpy. Vigor makes your movement speed kind of fast. It's not super important. The Jumping Claw critical hit, though, going into the Tails move there doesn't work. So both monsters kind of sitting at around the same guts, and with around the same percentage of life. We're going to see who ends up winning this here. A decent amount of moves from Lumpy won't do enough, and then Nails will have another chance to strike. Including that one, it's not going to do enough. It's, I think, traditionally a hit tech, which doesn't matter in this case scenario. If this hits, it's not going to hit. Not going to win so far.
Okay, so this is game 5, right?
Yeah, this is game 5. Last match for these two ranchers this day of the tournament. Whoever wins this wins the day. Whoever loses this, we get to laugh at and call it eat shit.
I know Nash said on stream earlier that he was scared of my Jill, but Nails has been putting up a really good fight.
Uh-oh. Power move. That's a heavy tech, though, I'm pretty sure. Ice Wave's a heavy tech, I'm pretty sure. So that did a lot of damage. Nails, I think, needs to hit one move. That's not power-based, I guess, in order to win here.
Luckily for me, he did not proc anger there with that punch combo.
This is really funny to watch, because it's such an intense match, and like if the players were controlling this, you'd never use these power moves. And yet.
Oh, he procs anger with the ice breath? Oh, he gets real? I didn't know this motherfucker had real! Oh my... No!
Eat shit.
Oh no!
And it looks like Nash is going to take this 8-3. One of our commentators, Macho, here getting blown out.
Good games, Nash. That was a fun S rank set. That was a lot of fun.
That was really funny. Just I'm hearing you in my ear. I didn't even know this motherfucker had real.
I didn't.
Oh my god, that was so funny.